Welcome back to PODScribe Studio by RawBooks22. I am your host, Indigo Lanee, and tonight's story is brought to us by MG_Ethan from Reddit, and it's called The Undead Revelation. Sometimes the world doesn't end with fire or screams. It ends quietly with the hum of helicopters, the whisper of winds, and a secret no one wants to admit exists. Let's begin. I didn't sleep much last night. The helicopters kept circling, shaking the windows like thunder that wouldn't stop. But the strangest part, there's nothing about it online. No news reports, no warnings. Whatever is happening out there, they're keeping it quiet. Around 3 a.m, I heard a delivery truck stop outside. At first, I thought it was nothing, but then I remembered. The government's been sending weekly rations to everyone still sheltering here. I opened the door just as the soldier knocked. He was wearing a full hazmat suit, his face hidden behind a black visor, the filters humming softly as he breathed. Without a word, he handed me a sealed container and waited for me to sign. When I asked what was going on, he didn't answer. He just turned and walked back into the fog. Inside the container were meals, if you can call them that. Mushroom soup, mushroom spaghetti, mushroom pizza. Every single dish had a mushroom in it, and I detest mushrooms. I actually laughed for a moment. It felt like some kind of twisted joke. But when you're hungry enough, irony doesn't taste that bad. The pizza wasn't terrible. A strange flavor, sure, but not the worst thing I've ever eaten. For a few hours, I felt okay. And then things started feeling strange. It started small, flickers of movement in the corner of my eye, shapes that were there and then weren't. I turned my head and then I saw them, figures, forming out of thin air, pale and hazy, like cigarette smoke trapped in the sunlight. There were 6 of them, maybe more. I couldn't make them out. Faces, hollow, eyes dark, watching me without blinking. I froze. My voice barely worked when I asked, "Who are you?" One of them stepped forward slowly and heavily, and when it spoke, the voice was thin like air leaking from a punctured lung. "Victims," it said. I didn't know what that meant. Victims of what? The infection? The government? The food? "Why are you looking at me?" I whispered. Another voice answered, softer this time. "You are an enlightened one." The words didn't make sense, and before I could ask more, they were gone. The light flickered and I was alone again. When I woke up the next morning, everything was normal. The room was empty, the ghost gone. For a moment, I thought I'd imagined it all. Then came another knock on the door. When I opened it, it wasn't the same soldier. These men wore black hazmat suits, thicker, heavier. I didn't even get a word out before they grabbed me, cuffing my wrists and dragging me outside. The streets were chaos, smoke rising from burning cars. People, no, not people anymore. I don't know what they were, wandering aimlessly, their faces blank and gray. Some of them looked at me, and I swear I recognized them. The van they threw me into smelled like disinfectant and blood. The driver didn't slow down for anything. Every bump, every thud sounded like we were running over what was left of the town. Who was left of the town? Gunfire cracked in the distance. I kept asking where they were taking me. What was happening? But no one answered until one of the men finally leaned forward. His visor was completely black. I couldn't see his face, but his voice was steady and calm when he said, "You're immune to the infection, and we're gonna find out why." And that was it. I don't remember much after that because I somehow fell unconscious due to a violent crash upon my head, the hum of the van, the sound of my own heartbeat, the way the air outside shimmered like heat even though it was cold. Now, wherever they've taken me, I can still hear the helicopters. Sometimes when the lights go out, I see them again, the victims. They stand in the corners, whispering things I can't quite make out. Maybe I didn't survive the infection. Maybe this is what comes after. Or maybe they were right. Maybe I really am enlightened. That was the Undead Revelation. They say mushrooms help things grow, but in that town, they only help the dead rise again. Maybe enlightenment isn't about what you see, but what refuses to leave your sight. Thanks for listening to PODScribe Studio by RawBooks22. I am your host, Indigo Lanee. Until next time, keep reading, keep imagining, and keep coming back for more stories. Peace.